Hello everyone, welcome. Hello. I have to look here. Yes, it's working. Hello everyone, welcome in the Friday Fox show number 6 already, number 6. And today we have Electro just here sitting next to me. We're gonna have a super chill evening for me because it's like the afternoon for you right now. But we're gonna have a super chill discussion, just answering some questions about a lot of interesting stuff. We're gonna talk about the furry fandom. We're gonna talk about conventions. We're gonna talk about VR. And yeah, it's gonna be chill. So guys, take some popcorn, or I don't know, chill back, relax, and yeah. LIV is still broken for me, so I will not be able to see the chat as fluently as it used to be, because for me it's not working. But I have the chat here on my overlay, but I will not look at it for reason. I cannot just look at the chat and listen what Electro is saying. So we're gonna do it like that. Electro, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for being here.
I am doing great today. I just woke up 3 hours ago.
Let's go.
A lot earlier than I usually do.
3 hours ago, so that's like 10 a.m. That's nice. That's pretty fair.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the normal wake up time. I mean, I wake up usually at like 9 a.m., 9:30. Well, not on the weekend, you know. I sleep a lot in the weekend. I wake up at like 2 p.m., stuff like that. You know, when you do VR chat until 3 a.m., then you don't really wake up the next morning.
Oh yeah, I definitely know that.
Yeah.
I usually get off around 1 or 2 a.m.
1 or 2 a.m. I tried, so sometimes I'm like, yeah, all right, I should sleep in 30 minutes, but then every time I'm like, oh yeah, all right, I said that 30 minutes ago, maybe now I'm gonna go to sleep, and there is something else to say, and I end up going to bed when my stuff runs out of battery. Like, whenever I don't have any more battery in my trackers, I just go to bed. I don't know, if you sleep in VR, you have to have like battery packs or something, because you know, like when you sleep, it like discharges and stuff. And I don't know how some people they are doing it. After 5 hours, everything I have is dead. Everything is dead.
Oh yeah, I just use TrackStrap Plus, and then like if I can just put a little strap around my wrist with a battery pack that charges my controllers, and that'll be good.
All right. Are you using like the HTC trackers, or are you using something else? Because I know there is different stuff now. There is not only HTC trackers.
I use the Vive 3.0s.
All right. Yeah. Just like
I was
me.
gonna try to get my hands on Tundras, but
Tundras, are they the one that are wireless and you can have it under a blanket, or?
Oh no, that's Slime VR. The Tundra ones were
all right.
somewhere else.
I also forgot to say something. Today we have managing the cameras and doing all the transition you see right now. Edgar, another Fox guy behind the screen here that is showing back the video. So thank you so much, Edgar, for doing it tonight. It's the first time we are using the Vision Mixer desk that I made. And we're gonna, like, that's the test. Wow, look at that transition. Wow. My name is Thank you, Edgar, for doing it. All right, let's start with the questions. There's some really interesting questions that we're gonna talk about tonight. So last time I did it, Katie made fun of me because I was really formal, but that's just because I'm not native in English, and sometimes I just don't know what to say. So I'm like, thank you for your answer. So I'm sorry if it's super formal, but that's the only thing I know how to say. So
No, you're totally fine.
Yeah. I try to be better at speaking English, like back in 2018, I was not speaking English. So every occasion I have to practice, I just do it, and that's how you become better. And you get rid of the French accent, because that's something I'm actually trying to do actively. And I guess at some point I will remove 100% the stinky French accent, but we're gonna see. All right, so
Welcome.
first question of tonight, Electro. We all started somewhere in the fandom. Some people, we talked about it already, they discovered the fandom during the COVID, and they are called by the people COVID furries because, you know, like, it's how the people that were there with Twitch, with all the YouTubers and the content creators making more videos. A lot of people discovered during COVID. But what about you, Electro? How did you first discover the amazing furry fandom?
Well, when I first discovered the furry fandom, I was just turning 13, and I found out that furries existed, and I was like, oh, wow, there's actually a lot of there's actually others out there that want to be a wolf like I did after I watched Balto when I was 8.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
wanted to be a wolf, and I watched Balto, and I was like, you know, now it'd be so cool to be a wolf. So I started like drawing like wolves and stuff like that. I started going to places where I could see wolves, and I was like, oh my goodness, wolves! So I got
That's
obsessed
so
with
cute.
wolves, and then wolves, and
So it
then I
was
found the
wolves.
furry community and when I was
Yeah.
when I was 13, and after that, just kind of discovering more and more about the everything. And it
So
was actually a really good discovery for me too, because I found people that had like the same interest as me.
yeah.
I was like, I'm not alone.
Yeah. I bet it must feel good when you like something and you're like, oh my god, I hope I'm not the only one having that same likings and stuff. And I don't know really how it must have felt, because when I discovered the fandom, I didn't knew like furries were something. But yeah, but did you like where? So a lot of people, they said already that they were, you know, undercover for a few years because they discovered the fandom and the for affinity, and maybe back in the days IRC chats, I know it's something that was done a lot, or maybe like Skype. Were you undercover for some years, and then you were like, all right, this is the time where I create an account, I create my persona, I am actively in the community? Or was it directly after discovering everything?
I think more of like when I discovered it, I didn't really hide it. I was very open to who I was. So yeah, I pretty much just created accounts with like Electro this, Electro that, blah, 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 you know. Or actually, well, technically at the time, not really, because Electro was actually developed more in 2015. No,
2015,
no,
all
no,
right.
2017 or 2018, one of those two.
All
Somewhere
right.
around like late 2017 or early 2018, that's when Electro was developed, and then I pretty much just made the
All right.
whole
Was
Electro
your
exists type of
name
thing.
Electro on day one, or did you go like with a lot of different names?
Well, funny enough, I think I use that as more of like a name in games. Because I don't know, I always had like an obsession with lightning and electricity
Oh,
a lot.
oh, that's cool. I
But
can see because literally your necklace is literally firing lightning right now as we're talking. So that's nice. That's cool. I
yes,
didn't knew that. So that's where Electro. I wanted to ask like, yeah, why is it Electro then? But yeah, now I got my answer. It's because you like lightnings. That's really cute. That's really cute. I think I'm gonna do the third question because then I like mixed up a bit. I think the third question is better to ask right now. The third question, and then we're gonna go to the second one, is how did you choose your persona and what inspired this design?
uh, well, I'd have to say that I can just probably blame Balto again for having me choose to be a wolf.
Yeah.
And I can blame Lightning for the interest in that for this. I mean, at one point I had a little bit of a different design. Um, it wasn't. I didn't have any of like the lightning bolts or any of that. I kind
Yeah.
of just changed it up a little bit to have that to kind of fit the name a little bit more. Uh, the I had to. I guess it's not really a version 2 that I had. This would technically be the version 2.
All right.
But I did have another version where I had little lightning bolts under my eyes, and I still do, but it just like those are the first lightning bolts technically to be
All
on my
right.
Sona design, and I kind of wanted that, so I went with more, and I was like, well, let's go with more.
Is
But
it
yeah,
the color
definitely
red?
Electric Wolf.
The color red, is it because of the character in the movie Balto? You know, I don't remember their name, but there was like a red.
Oh, Jenna.
Yeah.
It was more of the fact that red was always my favorite color.
Oh, all right, all
Like
right.
at one point, I thought it was green, but it was really just always red, and it still is. So I'm just like,
So
I
your
like red.
V1 is
Red's
green
fun.
then, or was it red since the day one, the beginning?
Oh, version one was always red. Yes, Electro
All
has always
right.
been red, but my eyes were actually supposed to be a light blue.
Yeah.
I guess kind of the same color eyes as your Sona, but
Oh.
then once the fursuit was starting to get made, was mistakenly made as green, and they're like, "No, I'm so sorry, I did not mean to make them green." I'm like, "Actually, no, keep it. I like it." So
Yeah.
that's the whole lore behind me with green eyes.
Oh, that's
No,
nice.
it's totally okay. Just keep it.
That's not. Yeah, I think that a lot of people. I mean, not a lot of people, but I've heard already that story where when you make a fursuit and then you adapt your persona, especially. I think it's also the same where you get a drawing of your persona. You don't really have a ref sheet, and you know the artist kind of like interpret their vision of your persona, and sometimes they add stuff or they remove stuff, and then you're like, oh my god, that kind of looks nice. I like it, and then you just apply it to your persona. I know that when I made my first shit, I had to simplify a lot my persona, and then I was like, all right, that suits me more because it's simplified and I like it that way. And then when I got received my suit, it was the same as you. Some steps were off, and I was like, no, you know what? This is nice. I like it. It's all right. So yeah, you said your first suit got the green eyes, and then you decided to add your green eyes on your persona. But yeah, I have to know because when you join the furry fandom, it's not it's not by default that someone is gonna get a fursuit. They have to first try it, like it. I know some people that don't like it. They are just here to make the friend and have fun. But how did you become? What drew you to become a fursuiter, Electro?
Sagittarius, let me look at you. Today you are delicious.
Honestly,
Fit
just
for
kind of
chocolate
seeing,
pancake.
well, about the time when I first found the fandom, I just kind of was seeing how nice it would be to have your own suit, your own big old fluffy suit
Yeah.
with a bunch of fur, and just seeing people give each other hugs and be extremely wholesome, and it's just like, wow, this would be really fun. So eventually, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll start considering this. A few years later, then I'm just like, I just end up going with it and get, it wasn't a good decision at the time. I got my first suit made a little too early. I was still growing in height,
Yeah.
and now I'm almost 4 inches taller. But
Oh.
it was it was still it was still
You
fun.
needed to
it
have
was
it.
fun. I needed
Another
to. It was
feeling.
just fluffy red wolf running
Yes.
around and like just hugging people.
Yes.
Of course,
Yes.
if they don't want that, that's fine. But
With
hugs are
consent.
always just like really fun with. Yeah, with consent. I always tell people if you want to hug me, you can just as long as you as long as you hold your arms out like that in front of me and you don't run up behind me. If you don't run up
Yeah.
behind me,
Yeah.
and hug me, that's fine. But like you can do that in front of me because I can see you. If I don't see you, I'm gonna get scared. I'm very jumpy, so if someone does that from
Oh.
behind, I was like, ah!
All right.
Oh goodness.
That is cute. So you got your first suit, but did you actually try one before deciding to get one? You know, some people they get the fursuits before trying, and then they're like, "Oh, I cannot deal with heat. Oh, I don't like suiting because you're like in the fursuit head. It's like breathing is more difficult. You cannot see as well, and some people they don't like it. Did you try one before, or was it like you knew you were gonna like it?
I think I just went with more. I knew I was gonna like it. I didn't really have other fursuits or try others on. I saw them and I saw how they were like equipped, but then I just went with it. When my version one of technically the body of my fursuit has always been the same. and there's nothing that's really changed. The paws got changed and the head got changed. That's all that got changed from
Alright.
like the version 1 to a refurbished version. Mainly the head. Um, the head at first was very heavy. The friend of mine that made it did put a lot of glue and heavy material into that, so it was kind of heavy. Got kind of hot.
Yeah.
But once the second version got made, you could run a durability test. We could back up over it with a big truck, and it would be perfectly fine.
What?
So
Oh no. What happened?
that we literally did that. Like,
Do you have to tell me now?
Like for durability tests, like you could just take the head, you could just squish it like this, and there's nothing that's gonna be wrong with it. You could
Did
run
you
it over
already?
the truck.
Did you do it, or is it just you know that it's gonna?
Oh, like that happened. Like we actually did.
What? Was it like to
that's-
try, or was it an accident?
It was a try, like just getting in a truck, backing it up over the fursuit head, and just watching it like squish down, come back up.
What?
And then my friend gets out of the truck, and they're like, they just pick it up, and it's obviously it's they're just like kind of fluffing a little bit. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. Checked the eyes, everything else was good. There's really no
Oh my
rips
God.
that we could look for or any tears, so
That's
really
great.
squishy foam.
Yeah. So you know that you have like a super durable fursuit that's gonna last in time. Well, maybe you will need to replace the fur at some point because that's one part of the fursuit that, with time just wear. And when you brush it, then it's gonna like the more you brush it, the more fur you lose. And all right, that's crazy. I never heard that. But that's nice. I know if I did that with my fursuit head, it's gonna break. At least the eyes were because the eyes are made of like stuff that cannot be squished with like plastic, I mean, I don't think it's plastic, but it's hard. It will probably like break. But all right. Thank
Yeah.
you for answering. It's always nice to because a lot of people they have different stories on how they discovered that they wanted a fursuit and like a fursuit. I got some friends that literally joined the fandom with their fursuit directly. They were like, all right, I'm gonna be like like undercover until I get my fursuit, and then when I get my fursuit, and I just start as a furry and create the socials and stuff. But that's nice to hear more stories like that. It's crazy, and I'm glad you're having fun with it. You're saying you're like a super bouncy wolf, and that's nice to see people actually enjoying their fursuit and having fun with them. That's really nice to hear. So you already talked about like experiences that you got when people they go like that, they want a hug, and it's super nice. But can you share with us your experience of actually joining the furry fandom? Was it hard to get some people to talk to? Was it hard to meet the first furries, or maybe meet the people in your area? How was it?
Well, when I realized I was a furry, I kicked down the closet doors, I guess you could say. Like I like to say when like I closet door closed, and then you just kick the closet door and it like
Yeah.
flies and hits the other end of your room.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I fully just let everyone know, like, hey, I'm a furry.
All right.
Obviously, people chose not to stick with my friendship over that time. That's okay. That's fine. That was still like me trying to figure out who my friends were. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
But it's more of like at that time. That's when I started discovering, communicating more with others that were furries too. Like, funny enough, a classmate of mine actually was a furry, and I had no idea. That I went to this like private type of school in sophomore year, and like she sat right behind me, and that's the same friend who made my fursuit, and
Oh,
we
really?
always like fursuit
That's so
together and take
cool.
photos together. But in the beginning, it was she just sat behind me in class. For some reason, I will be 100% honest. I don't know why, but like I just got the feeling. I just got furry vibes from her always, like every single like a day. I don't know why. I have no clue.
Yeah.
But then one day I'm just kind of like walking to the back of the class to go get some more pens, and I see like I just glance for a second and I see like drawing an animal. I'm like, wait, hold on a second.
That's a furry.
And then they contacted me, not having any idea who I was, and like, hey, there's not many like people who are more expressive of being furry around here, and like I can see you're like around the same area and stuff like that. You also have interest in furry stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Eventually we started talking more and more and more, and getting into more conversations about stuff like that. Over the next like I think it was like 2 days to figure this out. We started talking about our classes, and
Yeah.
it's like, wait, we have the
We're
same
in
class.
the same class.
You sit behind me.
Oh my god. That's so crazy. That's crazy. And then I guess you just met in real life and you were like, oh my god, oh no, it's you. You know, like the Spider-Man meme where it's like, no, it's you. Then you meet and you're, that's great. That's great. What a coincidence.
Yeah, it's just because the next day after we like figured that out, it's just like, so she started sitting next to me, and then we were like, and she would like draw furry art and stuff like that, and then drew like a sketch of my Sona. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good, because this pencil, just 3 minutes maybe, can draw a head. It has like shading and everything. I'm like,
oh,
whoa, okay, you're really good at this. And I started trying to draw. I wasn't really too like. There's not really being good, or like there's not really being like bad at drawing. But for me, I tried and tried, and I was like, at least right now, I don't know if this is for me. I might try again in the future. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to do art again.
You can only improve. The more you do art, even if it looks bad at the beginning, it's only going up. It cannot go down. The more you do it, the better you get at it. That's the thing. So that's how you got the first art of your persona, with that friend that was in the same class as you and drew you on a piece of paper. That's really cute. Do you still have like the drawing or like a picture of it?
I think I have it in a box with some of my notebooks.
Oh,
I
that's
think it
so
would be in there,
cute. That's so cute.
I mean, I literally like. I have artwork hanging in my rooms. Some of the stuff that they did, and like before they moved to a different state, they drew like special art of theirs, like a full body of their Sona and mine.
Oh, that's so sweet.
They had like because their Sona's name was Fish, so they drew a little fish on mine, and then they drew a lightning bolt on theirs. So it was like more of a.
I love that story. It's so cute.
Kind of like a the memories. There's lots of memories of going out into the woods and.
Do you still meet them sometimes?
Like, fallen trees or something.
Do you still like hang out at conventions or in real life or VR?
Well, I plan on moving.
Yeah.
And when I do move within like hopefully within a year is what I'm planning to do for. They'll actually be in the local area.
Yeah.
So, because I'm gonna be moving down to where my boyfriend is, and he's kind of in the same area-ish.
That's so cute.
So it's like I'll be able to reunite, go to conventions, hang out, and I'll be like.
What a story. Oh my gosh. That's so cute. Yeah. So in your class, and I guess, there was like the furry vibe, but you didn't know because there was not any signs on like or anything. I remember when I was in high school, there was also a furry in my class, but I mean, it was more obvious to tell because they had like a, where you put your pens and everything. I don't know how to call it in English. Like the thing where you put your pens and you like everything and then you put it in your backpack. I have no idea how it's called in English, but the thing was white and they had something drawn on it. And the something drawn on it was written furry gay. And I was like, oh, that guy's probably a furry. That's that was not the handsome way to find out someone was furry, I was like, all right, I know you're furry. And then I think the same happened. Like we were online and I was like, Oh wow! So where are you living? And they're like, yeah, I live in this city. I was like, oh, crazy! I live in the same city. And they're like, oh yeah, I am in this high school. And I was like, oh, crazy! I am in the same high school. And turns out it was the dude in my class. That was
Oh
quite
my
funny.
goodness.
Especially the next day, the day maybe it was the same for you when you met that person, but the day you meet and you actually know, and you're like, oh yeah, that was me online. Oh, that was you, and you're like, ah, hello, and you don't know what to say because, well, when you're in high school, you're kind of young and you don't know. I was pretty shy, and I didn't know what to say. I was not in the fandom as much as he was. I was just discovering everything, so I was like, yeah, I know that, but I'm not really into it. I was like in denial a bit, but yeah, that's funny. That's really funny. All right, thank you. That was really a handsome story. I needed that tonight. That was handsome, so handsome. Thank you so much, Electro. So you said you're gonna move to go to conventions, and that's exactly what we're gonna talk about right now. You told me that you went to one convention already, so that's enough, I think, to answer all the questions that there is in the part 2 talking about conventions. So the first question is: have you ever attended any furry convention? If so, what was your experience like?
Honestly, the experience of going to I went to Anthem Northwest 2019. That was my first, and I haven't gone to a con since, but that was my first con I've ever gone to. And I had a couple of people that I knew that were going. I didn't really know too many people. I knew of others, and I kind of wanted to hang out with them, and just be like, hey, I'll tag along possibly. There was only a couple friends who would really hang out with me. But it was really fun. It was lots of fun going there, and I would definitely do it again. I'm gonna be doing it again this year for sure when that rolls around. But oh my goodness, going to dancing in a full fursuit for
Yes,
5 hours, 4 hours at a rave.
That's the vibe.
Just even if you're like feeling really, really
Yes.
hot and stuff like that, you just keep dancing. I fully got into it and stuff. I didn't know how to dance. I was not good at dancing, but I was still dancing. I was still just vibing to the music and everything. But
That's
still,
the vibe.
it was lots of fun to go to that, especially at night. Being able to see others I guess you could say acquaintances. Like we didn't know each other well, but I got to see DJs that would like. I got a friend of mine that was a DJ. They went up there. Unfortunately, a time I was not at the rave, but I got to see others as well. I got to see like a re-record, but it was all, I guess you could say, a mix of, well, obviously mostly really fun, some kind of interesting, and some just a new, I guess you could say, fluffy experience.
Yeah. So it was the first time you had your fursuit.
Vibes.
First time you took your fursuit at a convention.
Yeah, it's gonna have. You feel more comfortable when you're around a lot of others that are also furries who have the same interests as you. You feel very, very comfortable. Okay. Everyone here also
does the stuff I do.
And there's a lot of other fursuiters, and it's like there's like really like those jumpy fursuiters who like hug, and stuff like that, and they're really kind and nice. It's like, oh my goodness, this is awesome, hugs.
Yeah.
But lots of hugs. So lots of people running around with video cameras, like recording stuff, and lots of creativity as well, from what I could see at the Dealer's Den, I think it was called.
Dealer's Den, yeah.
I think.
Where you buy the goodies and stuff. That's the Dealer's Den, yeah.
Yeah, there was lots of there's fursuit pieces. There was artwork, really good artwork too. Like there was full-on portraits of just like stuff that almost looked 3D, and it was like, wow, how's this stuff made? Stickers, keychains, fursuit sprays, and all that kind of stuff. It was really fun to just kind of browse through there and see what is there.
Yeah.
And the artists and the creators out in the fandom that are just really talented at what they do and sharing their artwork. It's fun to go through that. obviously, like, you're tempted. You're like, dang, I really just want to take my wallet in there and just come out with not my wallet. Just buy everything, but you have to limit yourself somewhere. As much as I always tell my boyfriend, if I ever go into a dealer's den, make sure I don't bring my entire wallet in there, or that thing is not going to come out with me.
Yeah, oh my god, you need to be careful. But that's the thing, the conventions, there's a lot of creative people in it, and you can see your favorite artist. Even sometimes they sell like whole fursuits, like partials or even full suits or stuff like that. Was it a big convention? I have no idea any US convention. So was it like a big convention? How many people were there? Do you know?
There was quite a bit of people there. It was so it took place in December. Yeah, it took place. No, sorry. It was November. It was mid to late November. I'm pretty sure. But it was getting cold to kind of like that feeling of snow possibly happening, and you could go outside. But yeah, it was like just pretty big, I guess I could say. It was in Seattle, which is there's a lot of furries around this area. There's a lot of furries.
So more than like 1,000 people.
Pretty big. Probably, maybe I could check somewhere later, but I want to say more than 1,000.
Yeah, that's like a big convention.
It was a very big hotel.
Mid-sized big convention. All right.
It was the first year it took place in that hotel, because previous years it took place in a different hotel. So it took place on that hotel, which is funny enough on apparently a street, Howell Street, which is kind of ironic.
Howell Street. Oh my god.
So. But anyways, it's really tall. There's like, I wanted to say there was 70-something floors, but I want to say now, because I did some research on some buildings in the surrounding area, I think it's around like 50? 60 floors?
That's huge. That's like bigger than the biggest convention center in Europe.
Yeah, it could be. I could be wrong. Could be 40 floors, could be something like that. It was a lot of floors. It was very tall.
40 floors already kind of super big. Big building there. Big lobby, I imagine then.
Yeah, it was. Oh, definitely. So I think the first 10 floors were like bigger, and on the second floor you could go down and get pizza. Oh my goodness. Pizza. And the memories of going down and like with friends, we'd go down and get like pizza or something like that. We'd just buy a big pizza and share it. And then I was just down there while the friend of mine who was working on my fursuit and stuff was like there with me with some other friends, and there was we discovered, oh no, like around the upper arm area there was a little bit of a tear. It's like, oh no, I wonder how that happened. So they were just sitting there just like stitching my fursuit, and something they didn't know while they were doing that is they were stitching the fursuit to my shirt underneath.
Oh no. They were stitching the fursuit while you were wearing it?
Yes.
That's dangerous. Oh my god, the needle. I would be so scared.
I think I got poked maybe a couple times, but there was nothing really too bad. It was just
poor Electro.
Just like a scrape, just like just a little scrape.
But still. Repairing the fursuit while you have it on. Alright, that's wild.
It was just a little hole, but yeah, interesting doing that while eating pizza, just like they're having worked under your fursuit while you're just like sitting there eating pizza, just talking to a friend. It's like, hi, you're right here next to, well, actually technically it was on this side. You're just sitting next to me. Hi, how's it going? Okay, please don't poke me with that needle. Thank you.
But they did.
It was really a couple times, yeah, but it was expected.
Yeah. All right. That's great. You were not lucky because just after that convention, I guess, COVID started, and then the conventions, bye-bye for at least 2 years. It started like slowly in 2022 again. Some conventions open, and now it's fully back to normal, I think. But yeah, you were not lucky because in 2019, you didn't knew that it was going to be the last one. I mean, your first and last one for at least like 2 years. That's so sad when you think about it. I think in November, COVID was not a thing. I'm not sure if that was already like maybe we were talking about it, but
yeah, I think it was like more of a thing that took effect in like, was it March and April? I think it was March and April of that year.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to someone that is attending their first furry convention? Because that's what you did, and maybe you have some stuff that you want to share on, like how to fully enjoy your first furry convention.
I have to say advice to those who go to a convention for the first time. Well, there's two paths. If you're social, then hey, you can be social and be able to go
Yeah.
around and talk to people, make friends, and that's kind of what I did a little bit because I was extreme. Like I was such an extrovert at that time. I was very social and be able to go up to people and be like, hi,
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years, it's been a little more difficult for me, but I'm getting better at it. But over that time, if you're social, you can definitely go around if you want to. I know that there's like there's people that hang in groups. So definitely, if you have friends, try to bring friends there too, so you have
Yes.
people to hang around and talk to, and don't make the mistake. I guess the mistake I did make there was I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to, so I just kept walking around. Like I was just walking around, going around,
That's the
checking
vibe.
everything. I just kept just walking around. Just walking around and like this around the square area and being like, you know what? Maybe I'll see a friend. And
Yeah.
but I would just go around places until things happened. Would look at the schedule for the events and whatnot, and then I just go to the events.
Yeah.
And
That's the
I
vibe.
think,
The
'cause I know-
plan. The plan is no plan. You don't have a plan. You just be there. You try to have fun. I think I talked about it.
there's
Was
no
it
plan,
with,
just chaos.
yeah. Was it with KT? KT was like, did your reference as their second convention? No, a third. I don't remember, but like, and they were like, yeah. One of my questions were like, yeah, I think it was exactly the same question, and they were like, yeah, the plan at the convention is like, don't try to make a plan because like if you try to make a plan like, yeah, I want to do this and I want to meet with that person at that time, do you know already that it's gonna be difficult because at the convention you just do and like you cannot plan. You just go outside, like you said, you wander around the lobby. If you're in fursuit, then you can just like make new friends. Like there's a lot of fursuiters. You're like, oh, hello, what's your name and stuff like that. That's the vibe. That's the vibe at the convention. And then when you get called by your friends, they're like, yeah, go to my room. There is this happening, and yeah, that's the vibe. The plan is no plan, just vibing.
Yeah, definitely. But it was fun. I just wish I was a little more social with people. I was still a little shy. Like I was still like, see, there's this. I really like their fursuit. I want to go compliment them, but they're in a competition with someone, and I feel like I don't want to be rude. I don't want to go up to someone that's like talking to someone and
Do
then be
it.
like, just kind of stand there awkwardly and be like, I really like your fursuit because I like if I were to just say that and if someone interrupts them, I feel like I don't want to be rude in that way, so I would just like wait. So usually in any case when someone's talking to someone else, I just usually wait until they're done talking because I don't
Yeah.
want to interrupt them. I would feel really bad. Like, I don't mean to.
Yeah, that's cute. Don't be afraid. Do it. I think most people, if they're like, yeah, if you say, oh my god, you have a cute fursuit, they'll be happy to hear that. Because, yeah, I mean, that's nice when someone say that. You're like, oh yeah, thank you. And then you make new friends. At my first convention, I had a fursuit that a friend gave me to try, and that's how I wanted a fursuit. After trying that fursuit at this convention, I was like, all right, what is open next? I want a fursuit, but then I got with my boyfriend that had the lacy suit, and he like pushed me to get it. I mean, I liked lacy, but I was like, yeah, that's too late. I don't want to wait. But I'm glad I waited because now I'm super happy with my fursuit. But yeah. And I was going to the other people. I was seeing people walk, and I was like, "Oh my god, your fursuit is so cute!" Because I didn't knew what to. I mean, back in the days, my English was really bad, so I was saying the bare minimum. I was like, "Yeah, fursuit is cute. Wow, thank you." Whatever, I don't remember, but that was very basic, and that's how I met a few of my friends. That still to that day, I still talk to them. So don't be shy, Electro. Do it.
I'm still getting better at it. Over time.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day here soon I'll be able to just go up to whoever and be like, your design is awesome or something like that.
Yeah.
I gotta work on that.
Every little step at a time. But yeah, so thank you for answering. Now, I think the most sassy question of the whole questions. Do you know the 6-to-1 rule that you need to do at conventions?
I believe the first one's 6 hours of sleep.
All right, yeah, you got it. 6 hours of sleep.
The second one was. I think 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, 1 shower per day.
Yes, you got it. Really nice.
Yay!
But that's obviously if you're not a fursuiter. If you're not a fursuiter, that's what you need to do. You need to do 6-to-1. But if you're a fursuiter, you know that it's more like 6-to-3, 6-to-4. Because when you fursuit, you tend to get a little bit more sweaty. But yeah, minimum 6 hours of sleep. That's the minimum to wake up and enjoy the day. Because less than 6. I mean, some people, they can do 4 hours or 2 hours of sleep. But I'm talking for the vast majority of people, minimum 6 hours of sleep, especially if you had like a night where you drank and stuff like that. Minimum 6 hours. 2 meals, really important too. You don't want to only have small meals and then, I don't know, you can do like, I don't know what it's called, but I know you can like feel really bad if you didn't eat enough. And 1 shower, that's for you, but that's also for other people. Because like Electro said, at a convention, you walk a lot. And even if you only do walking, you need to at least 1 shower. That's the rule for everyone. But yeah, you knew it. That's nice. It's the most sassy question.
I'd have to say if for fursuiters, it would probably have to be something close to like 6 bottles of water a day. Like the 6-2 want to be six bottles of water a day, 2 showers a day, and 1 meal per day.
1 meal,
because, usually if you're in fursuit a lot, you're gonna probably forget to eat. But hey, hydration too. Don't overheat yourself.
So I don't know if it's the same in the US, but in Europe, in the fursuit lounge, there is some snacks. There's like snacks, candies, snacks. Is it the same in the US or is it only water? Because I know the convention I went to, there was like snacks, candies. I think you had a bottle like Coke. You had like some tea. You had some water with like some hydration stuff. It was so I was not eating a lot during the day, only taking the breakfast and then going to suit. But every time I was in the fursuit lounge, I was just eating some snacks, and that was keeping me up for the whole day.
Yeah, I'd have to say, I think for the one I went to at least, I mean, there probably is snacks in the fursuit lounge for any other convention. Maybe there is for Anthem Northwest now, but 2019 there was only a water, like a jug of water with like the dispenser. You could take like a cup and get water. Lots of fans like that. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That's the
minimum.
Like the headless lounge.
Fans, please.
Yeah, just the fans were everywhere. Like you could, there was like, what was it? There was like 4 fans. There was like the 4 chairs. Just like at this table, you got four chairs around the table, and there's just like 4 fans instead of the table, just pointing up at each one. And then I would see like the fursuiters like just sticking their head, like just putting their head onto the fan. It's like
the best feeling.
Like they'll open their mouth and be like, "Give me air."
That's the best feeling ever.
I think I'm correct. Someone actually did take a tiny fan and they just like shoved it in their fursuit mouth. They're just like,
some fursuits have that.
I need air.
They have fans directly inside them.
Yeah, that's originally what my first fursuit was supposed to have, but it wasn't working properly. Something with the wiring, I think, went a little bird.
Alright.
Otherwise, it would have been there, but that's fine.
But if your fursuit now is more light and like built with less thick material, then you probably don't need a fan, because if it's already light and you can breathe easily inside, then the fan is not really necessary. Though one really bad feeling is when you put back your fursuit head after letting it dry and it's cold, or even like the undersuit when you forgot to let your undersuit dry, and you only have an undersuit that is not fully dry to put on, and you're like, ew, what is this? That's the worst feeling ever.
Oh goodness.
I don't know
Yeah,
if that
for
happened
the
to you already, but yeah, this is bad. It is. I
at
don't
least
want to
for the
remember.
head.
Yeah, yeah. Something that is not dry. So that's why I recommend, if you're gonna have a fursuit soon, guys, or if you're gonna buy a fursuit, buy 2 pairs of Under Armour. 2 pairs. So whenever you stop suiting and you take a shower, you put one to dry and you take the other one. And then when you go back in your room to take a shower and suit again, you have one that is dry and the other one is, you put it to dry. That's a mistake I made at my first convention. And yeah, never again, because this is just the worst feeling ever. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah.
Loss
All
of
right.
Under Armour is good, yes.
Yeah. And also some Under Armour so back in the days, I remember the first time I suited, I didn't have Under Armour. And my friend was not going to give me his Under Armour because he still needed to suit. So I just had a shirt, a normal shirt, and like pants, but like really thin pants. And I was dying. So I think you need to really have something that is made for sports, that is breathable and that can absorb the sweat, because the goal of Under Armour is to just absorb the sweat, so it's not going on your fursuit, but at the same time you don't overheat and die. If you have a normal shirt, I remember after shooting for like 3 hours, my shirt was like soaking wet, and that was the worst feeling ever. So no shirt. Buy really like real Under Armour that is made for sports, and you're gonna like it better than a shirt and just normal pants. Anyway, I closed that bracket. All right, so you already said a lot of stuff about your convention, the dealer's den, how you were just vibing in fursuit. But can you share one memorable moment or one experience that you remember from a furry convention, from the furry convention that you attended?
Memorable moments.
Or just like an experience, a story time,
Arrow, shower, take una shower, because eres la estincos máximos.
There was a lot to choose from, but I can probably just list a few out, I think.
Yeah.
Can't really decide the most memorable, but okay. So this is one part, like glow in the dark. It's just a dark room. There's glow in the dark. You got these bounce houses and these balloons that are everywhere, just all over the place. I think there was like a bounce house slide as well, but it was so dark and everything. And me and a couple of friends went in there. One of my friends was like so obsessed with the balloon, like the really big balloon. And he's just like, he's like constantly. And
Playing
then I just joke. I jokingly, like, I just jumped up, I grabbed it and started running away. He's like, he started chasing me. He's like, get back here to the balloon! I go into one of the bounce houses, and then I just put it in there, and then I just like see him, because there's like a little like square part you'd get in, and there's like a little flap that goes over it if you want to, like, with Velcro, and it's usually like lifted up so you can get inside. I just like, it just seems trying to get in there as fast as he could, just like hear fingernails like scraping against the rubber of the bounce house. Like, I need a balloon, and then his like legs are just like kicking to get in there, and then he gets in there and he grabs the balloon. He's like, I got the balloon. It's like, as I'm walking away, I could just hear in the distance, I got the balloon. And then there's like couple new people who went into the room, and then there's like at the entrance, and then there's like, they just paused and they're like, who's that? Because it sounded so distant, and it sounded kind of scary a little bit, like if it were to be dark, and you hear just like, I got the balloon. And so there's like, I think it was like, I think it was a couple. Like a part with some partial, and yeah, they just walk in there, they just pause, like
they were scared. Too scared.
they might have been scared. They're probably confused. Like,
I would
what?
be scared.
Because
Dark
it was
room,
only us in there at the time.
Yeah, a dark room and someone screaming, "I got a balloon," and you don't know what's inside. That's kind of scary. That's funny. That's funny. But that must have been like a huge balloon then. If you were like holding it like this.
Like, yeah, about this. There's like a bunch of different. I don't know where you get. Like, I've seen some pretty big balloons. I don't know where you get those, but I definitely like.
All right.
They're even bigger than the ones you know, like the balloons with the rubber band where you'd like go like this and it'd be like, you know, like those. If you've ever had those, like a rubber band on the end of the balloon, you could just like use it as like a.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Like the big ones, they are thick a bit, thicker than normal balloons. All right, yes. That's nice.
Yeah.
I've never seen that at a convention so far, but that's fun. So you could go inside in fursuit. You could go inside that like dark room in fursuit.
Yes, and it
That's
was pretty
funny.
fun. Obviously, you know, I had to take my feet paws off because those stompers are very big and have resin claws, and that's
Oh yeah, you don't want
not
to
a
lose
good thing
them.
to have on that.
You don't
Yeah,
want
I
to
don't want
lose
to
them.
have that broken or even break the bounce houses with the resin claws or. But yeah.
That's funny.
But if it wasn't that, I'd have to say there was another time when we were outside of the hotel. It was dark. It was kind of like night. It's you know that it's like a smell on the air in a way where you could like it feels like you can smell like it's gonna snow, kind of.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
You feel like it's gonna snow. Like it's cold, and you kind of
Yeah,
get
I was-
that smell. I know it's not really a smell. I don't know. Maybe it is a smell, but it's like
For me, there is a smell when it's gonna
gonna
rain,
snow.
so I get what you're saying. I get it. The smell when it's gonna snow. So
yeah, we were out. We were outside. There was a couple other fursuiters out there, just you know, other furries. Maybe they weren't a fursuit, just hanging around. I walk out there. I'm like, oh, hey, we can go outside. This is awesome. So we go outside, and once we're outside, there's just like people, you know, walking by on the street, on the sidewalk across, and they're just like looking. They're like every single person on the sidewalk is just like looking over at
What
us while
is
they're
this?
walking. Like some with like side-eyeing, disgusted faces,
Side
or
eye.
like you know, there'd be like
what is
there
this?
would be like those like I guess like those parents that would walk by or something where they'd be like, oh my goodness, that's so cool, you know, you'd get one of
Yeah.
those every so often, and then they'd like come by if they're walking on the sidewalk
Yeah.
that we're on, they'd be like, can I get a picture, like, oh my goodness, your fursuit's so they wouldn't say fursuit, but like your costume, they'd call it costume,
Mm.
like it's so awesome. Did you make that yourself? Like, what do you all do? You know, they'd ask you a
Yeah.
couple questions, like, what do you all do?
Yeah, like,
what's all this for?
Are
It's
you a
really
mouse
awesome.
or a kangaroo? Getting your species completely
Oh my-
wrong. Oh, is that a whale? Wow.
Oh, what was it? My friend, when we were out fursuiting in public, out in, in our town, oh goodness, what did she get called again? Like I think it was like some mother
A horse.
went up to us and said, like, because. I think she said to me like, is this like a dog? I was like, yeah, you know,
Close
about
enough.
that. And then for for my friend, like, oh, are you like a dragon? And it's like, wait,
They are the dog.
I don't know. I don't know how that got chosen, but then she was just like, yeah, a dragon. And she's like, wow, the mythical creatures are so cool. You know,
Yeah.
like those are the stories of the dragons and in the medieval times and stuff like that. That's awesome. There was, I was like, I couldn't see the similarities, but you know, that's fine. I
Yeah.
mean, for someone that doesn't really know.
Yeah, it's
I
hard when you
think
don't know.
anyways knows what a furry is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dragon's like, yeah, dragon.
Mm.
I'm a dragon now.
I usually get called a dog or a wolf. But my boyfriend Kip people always get it perfectly. They say, "Oh, it's a snow leopard." I'm like, "Wow, so you call me a dog? I am literally orange like a fox." But you call them a snow leopard. Like, how do you know that? You don't know a fox, but you know snow leopard. But yeah, it happened already once that people they guessed it correctly, but it's rare. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, like I get called a fox a lot, which like I understand. Like,
Close enough.
This model is
Yeah.
more like fox looking than wolf, which is
But he's
totally
cute
fine.
looking.
But I get called fox. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Like sometimes I'll get called a fox, and it's like, oh, no, that's fine. I completely understand. But if I were to be in a fursuit that was more wolf, I'd probably at that point be like, wolf. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel bad correcting people. Like if they say you're such a cute fox, I'm like,
No, I'm a wolf.
you know, sometimes I'll be like a wolf. Yeah, I feel bad. I don't want to do that. I'm like, yeah, thank you. Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I think it's the color, because if you wear like people imagine wolves to be, so you know, like those shades of gray and white, and but only natural, you know. I guess it's easier because, I mean, I'm sorry to tell that, but there is no real red wolves outside in the wild, so I guess that's difficult for the people to to try to guess. But yeah, but the fox is red. I think it exists, so that's why maybe they say red. They say fox because, you know, red, orange. I mean, kind of close. But yeah, it's cute. At least it's close enough, you know.
Yeah.
They don't say you look like a fish or a whale or a parrot or something different, you know. It's like either dog or fox, or I bet sometimes they say wolf. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for answering once again. It was really lovely to hear your story with the big balloon. So now on the last question, in the convention part, how important do you think furry conventions are for the furry community?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say they are definitely really important, because when it comes to, like, if you think of it, like every furry is like scattered out, right? They're
Yeah.
all scattered all over the place. And yeah, you know, some places like up here as well, we have small events that'll happen that'll draw some furries together. Be like, hey, let's go to this arcade, let's go hang out, or let's go bowling, let's go fursuit bowling. You know, obviously that's like one of the bigger ones. But
Yeah.
a convention that draws people in from maybe, you know, like
The whole world.
just
in the
like
US.
a long,
Yeah.
yeah, just a long ways. Could be across the country, could be from other countries, could be from you know, the local surrounding area. It brings people in all around, and that brings people all to one location where they can meet, you know, new friends, you know, make friendships, talk with others, find out find new artists that they never knew existed,
Yeah.
find fursuit creators, and just everyone. You know, you got the panels too,
Yeah.
where a lot of panels these days are more of like there's like, you know, content creator panels, TikTok
Yeah, yeah.
panels, fursuit creator panels, art animation panels, or just something like that, and like people that have the similar interests as well. So like if you know you're a bunch of furries in one convention, and inside that convention there's panels that draw people's interests even further. So there's more people that go to one room, they go
Yeah.
to hang out. So honestly, I
And
think
you
that
meet new
conventions
friends.
are definitely really
Yeah. There's like a spider web where
really vital to the
everyone
community.
is kind of connected with everyone somehow. Because if you take the friends of your friends of your friends, you just cycle around the whole community, and that's the magic of it. Is that we are just a whole, and accepting everyone. It's easy to make new friends because, well, we like the same thing directly, so it is easier for people to talk to each other, to share stuff that they like. It's not often that you talk about those stuff. For example, in your everyday life, you're never gonna say to someone, "Oh yeah, I have an animal costume," or "I like drawing." It's so rare, and the fandom makes it possible for everyone to just, you know, talk about it openly, and be free in a way, in their mind, and then they meet new people that think the same things, and they have fun at conventions. But yeah, that's true. But there is also, after, especially I think at the boom was during COVID, a lot of people that now they only do VR chat, you know, because for their reasons, they only do VR chat because you're at home. Some people sadly they cannot go outside their place, so they still have the connection to the fandom thanks to that game. Whether we hate it or we like it, is here, and the whole community is connected by one more solid and big rope. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next part. We're going to talk about VR chat and stuff. And yeah, it's definitely another way to get people connected. I remember back in the days on Skype, you know, the way to talk to your friends was Skype. I don't know if that was the same for you. Maybe that was like even older than that. But I joined when everyone was on Skype. And then they switched to Telegram. And then it was Twitter. And then Discord. And since COVID, I think it was already something before, but got way bigger during COVID. Now there is VR chat, that nice game that brings us all together. That's also how I met you. Thanks to being content creator, seeing your streams, and then we met in VR chat. So that's a really nice thing that there is one more connection. And do you think, Electro, that VR chat is a good place for people to meet new furries and maybe make new friends? What's your opinion on that?
VR chat is definitely a wonderful place. I've been part of VR chat in VR since 2019. Yeah, late 2019 is when I kind of started, but over time of seeing just how, you know, if whether you're someone who streams and people come in and they, you know, want to hang out with you in VR chat, and then eventually they become like a close friend,
yeah,
or something, or you go to a public world and you meet some new people there, some really cool people, and then they, you know, they hang around you. It's a really nice place, in my opinion, to meet new people. And if it wasn't for VR chat, I wouldn't really know who I know today, in a way, because I hung out on VR chat a lot, met new people through public worlds, got involved in a friend group, and then from there, you know, felt kind of at home in a way,
yeah,
having those really close friends. And then after that, you can kind of go and you get the courage to start streaming. And then people will come into your streams, and then they'll say like, "Hey, want to hang out on VR chat sometime?" And like me, I'm always just like, "Yeah, that's totally fine. Like I have times that's totally good." And then I'll, you know, they'll hang out, and then we'll continue to hang out more and more. And that's something that I really like about VR chat, is because like if people have VR chat there, they're not physically there, they're virtually there, but they're still there, and they still get to know each other.
Connect.
And yeah, being able to connect to each other, being able to just talk and get to know each other more. But there's also like, when it comes to VR chat, See, I remember back VR chat when there wasn't like the Rex didn't exist.
Oh wow!
The winter pause didn't exist. There was like nothing. There was no furry avatars. There was just that one gray VR chat wolf, like, you know, the fallback avatar. That it was just like that basically. And then, you know, eventually then there was like there was like a Shiba, the Rex, the Otter, the NDK Protogen, and the Wicker Beast, I think were the ones that were used the most around that time. But those were like the first ones that were kind of
available.
Released. Also like the reverse of Ollie too. I think the reverse of Ollie. But there's a lot of those, and you go to public worlds and you see mainly those, everyone in those.
I remember that time.
Yeah, VR chat, when VR chat was, you could be in an instance with like 50 people in a public virtual ference world.
Yeah.
And everyone
but the small one, because back in the days it was only like one room. If you remember that.
That might be what the world is based off of in VR chat, I think.
Yeah, the word is based on
one big open area.
So when they created the word back in the days, they only had the entrance of the hotel. And that was the long corridor, if you remember that. There was like just a long just a word with like there was mirror on the side, and it was just a long corridor with like doors on the right. That was just because they didn't model the full hotel, but then after it got updated to what we know right now, Virtual Florence, the big S-Trail that we know as of right now.
Yeah.
Did you started VR chat? Because for me, when I started playing VR chat, I was on desktop without mic and with the default gray wolf. Was it like that for you too? Because I know a lot of people started like that, just no talking, only listening. And sometimes when people ask you who you are, you're like, hello, but you're shy.
I remember. Technically, the first time I played VR chat was on a like not too good of a laptop back in like 2017. VR chat was a lot. There was like I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know what the heck was going on or how to go to worlds. I was so confused. But then when I got back into VR like 2019, yeah, I pretty much started with the Grey Wolf. That's the avatar that I technically started with. Like I didn't really know what avatar to use. I saw that one. That's when like I don't know if this is a thing now. I don't know if like for those that create new VR chat accounts recently, if you go to the world, that's like the tutorial world. Before you go to any other world, it'll put you like it used to, or at least for me, it put me into a tutorial world with like a big screen in front of you. There would be like a selector for avatars. You could like select which avatar you want to use.
Yes, I remember that.
That's when like oh my goodness, there's just all the memories. That and then you get put to like the VR chat home world, and then you're like with like those like the gray paws, like whoa. I'm afraid you go to public worlds and you're just like, I didn't talk to him. I was very shy. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is online, but this is really cool. I had a little bit of headaches because motion, turning and stuff like that. That's what kind of got me. But it wore off over 2 weeks. But just that's pretty much how I started playing VR chat. Is with the Grey Wolf. Most of the time, just kind of like hiding in furniture. Other people were like talking that have been in VR chat longer, and I'm just like hiding in furniture, just like there'd be someone that come over to me, and they'd also be in like some kind of like, it wasn't the Grey Wolf, but there was some other animals, I guess. Like
there's a small
some other types.
marten, I think.
Yeah, there was a couple different animals. You could like tell. I think they were a furry. They're like. They came up to me like, oh look, there's a cute little wolf hiding in the furniture, and I'm just like,
hello.
Hi. Those are like the first memories ever, and
that's cool.
That was 2019. But once I came to like, I think it was at the end of 2020, and that's kind of why I'm glad I got into VR chat, is because around that time of like late 2019, I didn't use it too much. Like I used it just here and there, like a couple times, but then once 2020 happened and like there was like the lockdown and everything, then you could just go into VR chat. I was like, wow, well, I'm glad I have this ready to go. So I was doing that, and then around like near the end of 2020, then that's when like the Rex, I think
came
the Rex,
out.
the Otter, the Wicker Beast. That's when they were like released. Maybe like mid to late 2020, and you get to see a lot of those avatars running around, and that was around the. Oh my goodness, the time where you see like SDK 3.0 new, test it out.
Oh yeah, I remember that. The new
dynamic bones, and the old VR chat camera, like the one that was, the
awful.
Looked like a phone.
Yes, I remember. I didn't even know.
Remember trying to click the buttons on that thing?
Oh my god,
like,
yes.
You tried to click like the different buttons. It's like, no, not that button. I can't click that button.
It's kind of the same right now, where you kind of don't know which button you're pressing, but it's a bit better. It's a bit better.
Yeah, because it was more of like previously you'd have to like select, like it would be like
I don't remember the old menu.
They'd be like, no, I want to select this.
Do you remember the old menu?
Yeah.
But I forgot it. It was so bad that now I'm used to the new one and I don't want to go back. It was so bad. It was like if they didn't knew people were gonna use it in VR. Like it was just there as a menu, functional, but not as a VR. It looks like the game they planned it. I mean, back in the day, you had only like one VR headset or two. You had like the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift, the old like the first version. So I guess. she was not as expanded as it is right now. You know, like not a lot of people had those because they were also really expensive. Even if it was still the Oculus, the first one was still like a kind of a beta. I think when it went on sale, I was like, yeah, there is a VR headset, but it's kind of like a bit weird. The HTC Vive definitely was better, if I remember correctly. It was more advanced even when it came out. And then there was like the Rift S, and when the Quest was released, it's when I think a lot of people decided to go in, because the Quest was like the first affordable mass production VR headset, I think. And then people are deciding to just buy it and let's go in VR. But yeah, I joined, and I was exactly like you. I was desktop. Also, back in the days, when I didn't have a VR headset, I was using a Gear VR with a phone, a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. In my Gear VR, I had a software that was doing the connection to send the VR stuff inside the phone. And I had a PlayStation 4 controller to do my hands. So basically, I was just like this. I had my head moving with the Gear VR, but my hand was controlled by PS4 controller. So it was very like one hand at a time, and then was not using it. It was the other hand. It was it was so weird.
Oh goodness! How were your frames with that?
I had not a lot of frames. I remember also like it was overheating a lot, and I had to literally glue a computer heatsink on the phone. Like, so the whole thing was super heavy because it had like a huge heatsink on it, because the battery will die if it was not like cooled properly, you know. That was back in the day. That was the good old days. I remember also Fur Hub, but like the version 1.0, I guess, like the old one.
Yeah, the one where there's everyone would go up the stairs and go up
and you could go on the roof. I think there was a secret. You could just go on the roof. You could click on like a bottle of stuff on a bar, and you could go on the roof. It was I remember.
I don't know if I saw that. I know there was a
cool
gallery.
kid secrets.
It was like the club and the gallery and stuff like that you could go to through the door. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I look a lot back, like especially now with how VR chat is now. I look back at, especially around 2020 and 2019. Like I remember when VR chat was like this. And honestly, I kind of missed when VR chat was a little more optimized, because like, let's face it, we're getting a lot of new features in VR chat, but that also means a lot of unoptimization. Yeah. And I feel bad for those that are on like Quest standalone now, because there's a lot of times where
they don't see anyone.
Quest standalone. And then like I've been getting a lot of complaints recently, like, my headset crashed. It keeps crashing. I keep timing out, that kind of stuff. So I just kind of feel bad. It's like VR chat might be becoming too unoptimized for the Quest standalone at this point. Like they'd have to do some kind of like software update for the Quest 2 or make a new version for it.
I think they are waiting because they are going to release VR chat on smartphone soon, on Android. And basically those two are connected because the Quest is running on Android. So it's basically an Android app running. And I think what they are doing right now is not updating it on purpose, because they know they're going to release the Android version that is going to be super optimized and probably going to go on Quest 2, you know? Like, that's probably what they're doing. So that's why right now the Quest, because, like, I don't know. I think it's for saving battery, but I'm pretty sure that if the restriction were not that big, it will be all right. I think also the fact that so they're adding more features, and then we have to just get still the same avatar, you know, like the Rex has a high poly flow, the July Winter Pro like high polygons and stuff like that. And the more feature we add, the more memory stuff we add, the more complexity we add to our avatars. And I think they should really start to maybe just make the basic stuff more optimized, you know, like there is a lot of stuff that can be optimized. Like they're already doing a great job and like guessing where the limit is for, like, you know, your avatar is probably like bad, or I don't know, like mine is what's the term, very poor. And I think everyone is on very poor right now because suddenly they decided to change everything and just makes all the avatar very poor, which is kind of funny. But what can you do about it? You just cannot change. They added the features.
Yeah.
And if you remove them, then it's not gonna be the same, you know?
I think the texture. I think what they did is made the texture memory decide what your avatar performance is. So that's like, well, if your
Yeah.
avatar's textured in any way, you're it's gonna
Yeah.
be like poor. I don't think I ever see any more like good avatars or medium, unless it's just like some
Cute.
really low poly model with
Yeah.
no textures. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there is my friend Thingy that is making avatars for someone that is gonna shoot a movie and is gonna be needing to have like 60 people inside the world, and he's actually taking the regs and all the avatars and making like super optimized versions. And basically what you do is like you combine the textures, you reduce the polygons, and the thing is that for us, the textures, you can make your avatar good. You just go on Unity instead of like 2048 or 1024 the resolution, you can just decrease it, you know. You put like to 128 and then your avatar is gonna do like shit, but you're gonna be good, you know. It's gonna be like, wow, super optimized. But you know, like even from the distance you could see that it's super blurry. So I don't know really what they are planning to do on that, what they want us to do for that, because as of right now, especially with furry avatar, you know, if it's an avatar of like I don't know, anime girls, well, the skin of an anime girl is just like a beige color, you know, and then you have like the clothes, but it's not as detailed, you know. You don't see the detail that the furry avatar have on a lot of other avatars on VRChat. And so yeah, that's why I think they should start to optimize more the core instead of asking the people that are creating the content to optimize more, because I think we are at the limit. Like, no one wants an avatar with nothing, like no cool stuff that moves, no cool texture. So yeah, but we're gonna see what they do in the future. They are always amazing, and that's irony with updates. So I guess we're gonna see what they do in the future. Oh my god. All right. The next question, I think it's gonna help a lot of people if they are new to VRChat, but yeah. What would you recommend doing to someone that just joined VRChat and wants to meet new people? Because I remember when I joined VRChat, I didn't know where to find furries. I was like, all right, what do I join? I was joining words with like furry in the title, but those words are usually empty because they are avatar words, you know. It's not word where you hang out. So how do you meet new people if you're new in VRChat and you want to meet furries?
Well, just maybe do what I did is go to public worlds, go to public furry worlds. I mean, yeah, public furry worlds, it'll be chaotic. You'll have a mixture of like genuine furries who go there to hang out and meet new people, just like those who do the exact same thing. Like, believe it or not, if you're going to a public furry world, there's going to be other furries there that are trying to go like outside of their comfort zone to meet new people. It's just more like the matter of being able to start a conversation in some form of way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get a mixture of like that and some, you know, trolls and stuff too. But it'll happen. Definitely find that group, find those other furries, and it depends. Like just find those friends you want on VRChat. Just go to public worlds, hang out with people, find new worlds. Maybe worlds that you're really interested in, that other people are interested in, you already share a common interest. And yeah, just go and explore through VRChat as much as you can, because there's a lot to explore through VRChat.
Yeah, exactly. I would say also, as we are content creators, you know, I don't know if you do it, but sometimes there is the so-called community days where it's just open for everyone to join. That's a good example and way to meet new friends if you don't know where to start meeting new furries. If you watch someone on stream that you like on Twitch that you really like, you can join the Discord server and just start hang out with the community they have. And I think that's a really good way, especially if you don't know where to start. And if going to a public word is something you cannot do because either you're too shy or you don't want to have the people, streaming the trolls, I think going to communities like yours or mine or any others and joining the public instance of groups, I think it's a good way too to meet new furries and start your relations like that. I think it's nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, if you if you join the communities, I would say do not expect everyone to be, because I know a lot of people that they join the furry fandom and they sadly think like everyone is your super friend even if you don't know each other. I think there is some kind of steps to have, like if you are on a community day and you don't know anyone, starting talking to everyone is nice, but it needs to be made like in a way, like not like, hi, or you're my new friend, and then we add you directly and you don't know, you didn't talk to them, or it's nice to always have a subject of conversation. Exactly, just like PMs, when you send a new PM to someone, never say just hi, like try to have something in your message, like, hi, I saw that you did this and I like it too. I had a question on this, blah, blah, blah. I think it's a nice way to break the ice. Because if you start with like, hi, you're my friend, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it work. It might work, but it will not work as often, So yeah, that's an advice. Electro, in your opinion, what makes VRChat so unique for the furries?
Being able to, for someone that's like, let's say Canada and someone that's in Australia, to be able to go to the same world at the same time, and like be in the exact same world from two different, literally the opposite side of the world. You just being able to join from wherever and whenever. And I think it's unique because it can really bring people together, and it costs nothing. You're in VR
just like
chat,
we're doing right now.
A free game. You don't need if you want to get an avatar, that's entirely up to you. Like custom avatars are nice. It's not something you need to have. Just kind of going to the world and being there and talking with people that are literally on the other side of the globe. Like it's a really unique thing to have, VR chat. Especially like over the last couple of years when all those crazy things were happening. Like, well, we gotta stay at home, but you can stay at home and go to like Furality. Furality was a really good example of it's a in VR chat convention. I love being able to go there and see
vibe with people.
Dealer's Den too. You get the club. There's like the dance club events. People that sing, people that showcase their artwork or talents of any kind. But you also got just like the hangout. You could just go to any instance you want, and there's gonna be people to join. They're not entirely private, so they're gonna be like someone that goes to an instance with you, and you're gonna find them, and you'll be like, hey, hi, or something like that. It's like, I could have sworn I saw you in a public world once, or something like that. You'll be like, hey, again. And, it's like add. It's like another convention. You can bring people together and hang out. It's a really nice thing, especially to have like, things like Virality. But VR chat overall, technically, if you're on VR chat hanging out with other furries, you're pretty much at a tiny furry convention every day.
That is true.
Just like a bunch of furries around you.
There is a nice vibe in VR
like
chat.
That every single day.
Yeah. When you're just doing shenanigans with your friends, there is definitely a convention vibe, I have to say. I've never been to Furality, but hopefully I will do the next one that is in June, if I am correct. I'll be there.
Yeah, I believe it's June 4th or June
I will try.
2nd, something like that. And
I can't wait. Because I've heard only good stuff about it so far, and I've never been there because I was always not at home or busy when Furality was happening. So, but I will take time to be there this year, and I really can't wait. I hope it's gonna be nice. I just wanted to add also what makes VR chat kind of unique is just like when you're in fursuit, you know, you forget everything and you just go do stuff. I think it's the same in VR chat because there is avatars, you know, like when you're in VR chat, the image you send to others, you know how it looks. You know how your avatar looks. I know how my avatar looks, and I think it removes that wall because some people maybe in real life they don't feel confident. You know, they are like, oh my god, I'm shy. I don't like people. You know, talking and stuff. And I feel like in VR chat, a lot of people they just go for it. You know, more they're less shy because there is not that wall. You know, you in VR, you know how you look like. You know your appearance. You know that you can be just a wolf or a fox or just vibe in that way. And I think that's unique too because a lot of people were saying it when VR chat was becoming super famous. It was like, yeah, basically being in VR is just like being in fursuit but without the heat. And I kind of feel this. It's exactly like being in fursuit but without overheating. It's as nice because you just I bet when you put your fursuit on for the first time and you look at yourself in the mirror, you felt the same thing as we feel whenever anyone that got a fursuit do that. You're like, oh my god, look at how I look. This is myself. I'm a big red wolf or I'm a fox or whatever. And I think in VR chat it's the same. I remember seeing the first time my avatar that I made, the first one that I made on a mirror on the word, and I was like, oh my god. It's something. It's the same feeling, you know. And I think that makes it super unique, and that's why we connect to VR chat every day. And you know, we can get enough. We quit VR chat, then the next day we're like, all right, let's do it again. Let's vibe with my friends again, and that's what makes it unique.
Definitely lots of fun. The fun will never end.
It will never end. Except that if they make another nice update that is even worse than the previous nice update, you know? We never know. We never know. We are never secure in VR chat, sadly. But let's hope. Let's hope. Anyway. So we talked a lot about the furry stuff, but let me ask Electro, what is your favorite word in VR chat?
My favorite world in VR chat.
Yeah. Or
That's hard to pick because there's a lot of really.
Can be like 2 or 3 if you want. Let's. If it's too hard to choose one.
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to say. You know, I know it's funny as it is.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to say Murder 4. As odd
That's
as that
a good
sounds,
choice.
It's a nice world. As much as you play it, it just doesn't get boring for some reason.
Yes.
Maybe for some people it does, but at least for me, it just doesn't get boring. There's nothing boring about it. I've played it so much. I used to go into public worlds all the time, and you know, to be fair, a couple of friends I met in Murder 4 for the first time, and that, you know, those same friends, they were like, hey, I'm gonna add you. If you want to join anytime, that's totally fine. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine, because, you know, then I never really got that before. So
Yeah.
then I go and join up with them, and then when I go and join up with them, you know, then I found out that they're streaming and stuff. They're streaming. I wasn't streaming at the time, but then I saw they were streaming. I'm like, oh, so you're streaming VR chat, to Twitch? Okay, that's pretty cool. So we go play games. We go play Murder 4. We go play Prison Escape or Ghost or a Blackout. Those games weren't really in VR chat. It was more of Murder 4. We played games like there was Prop Hunt.
Yeah.
There was the Meat Grinder, Mineral Treatment, Slaughterhouse.
All the cool games.
Murder 3, the older murders as well. All the older games. We go play those, and it was lots of fun. Being able to just kind of hang out with everyone, seeing who else joins in as well. Being able to talk with them and, you know, play games and have fun. And I was really shy at that time too. I was more in my Protogen avatar. And that was kind of That was technically the first avatar I got made that had like effects on it and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was more like detailed, like an actual like set in paid for commission. So I used my protogen more. I was really mute. I did not talk to anyone. I was just like, hand movements, hi, thumbs up or thumbs down or things like that. I would use that to communicate. Eventually I broke out of my comfort zone and I would start just saying words like hi. I still remember, oh my goodness, a couple of friends and I said like something like, "Hey, you speak." It's like, "Yep, I speak."
Yeah.
But over time it's just been like a lot of good memories of that world. There's always been a lot of memories. It's something that is you go to a lot. No matter it's been out for years. There's still a lot of people that play that game. It's just something to do, to like kill time, have fun, and it's decently optimized too.
Yeah.
You can fit up 24 people there, and it's not anything that's gonna like kill your computer. So it's a really nice world to go to and hang out and make friends too. If you go to public worlds as well, just hop around. That's something I used to do. Go to public worlds and hop around, and if I
play some games.
I would like as soon as I joined, I would go and look through the world list and be like,
"Who is
there's
playing
another
murder?"
furry here. Oh look, their avatar image is a Rex. Okay, so there's another furry here. And then I just stay in the instance. Because there'd be sometimes you join in a public instance, and there'd be like some people that'd be like, "Get out of the instance, we don't want you here," kind of a thing. It's like but if there's other furries in the instance, like, "Oh hey, look, there's other furries." So I do that, play games, and those I don't even know, and then they like say hi, or they go up and they come up to me and go boop. Which, I don't mind. Like I don't mind if someone that I have that I don't know. This is virtual reality. If you're gonna come up to me, obviously if it's in real life and someone's gonna like come touch my face, like
that's
like,
weird.
but in VR chat it's different, because it's like if you're like wearing a fursuit,
it's not as intrusive.
Your snoot. Like that's I don't mind if they boop my snoot. And in front of VR chat, I really don't mind that at all. Like that's totally fine. I just feel like that's something that like everyone does, and there's some people who might not be comfortable with that, and that's totally fine as well. Like I just try to make sure before I do that. Try to respect people's personal space. But yeah, just definitely
Murder 4. That's a good choice. That's a great choice. It's a really nice game.
Even though there's so many more worlds that are really pretty and very unoptimized, but super pretty and really cool effects and everything. Yeah, definitely that.
So let's say it's your favorite word as of right now, because there is always new stuff being created. Maybe it will change in a month, in like a year. You never know. Well, that's the thing that's amazing about VR Chat is that it's not like a game where you do everything. There is always new stuff to do. There is always new stuff to do because you are creating the content that you want to play. So if I want to make a bowling word or whatever else I want to do, I can do it. And this is how they keep the game. I mean, they don't have to keep it because the people just do it for them. But yeah, that's how the game is so entertaining. And some people have like thousands of hours playing VR Chat. I understand. I do it myself too. And yeah, very good choice for murder. All right. So now we're gonna do the two last question of this Friday Fox Show. It has been a pleasure so far to talk with you. Really interesting topics that we talked about. Now it's like the two last question is some question that I always do with everyone. So if you don't feel comfortable talking about that, you can choose to not answer. But it's because it's more private questions. And then at the end, I will ask you to look at the camera when it's gonna be here and ask a question to Monty. So you have time to think about it. But basically, next person that's gonna do the Fursuit Fox Show with me is gonna be Monty. And so it should have been done with you. Donut should have asked you a question, but sadly, I am really bad with times and stuff, and I forgot that I was not available, and Donuts was not available, so I didn't do Donuts yet. So that's why you didn't have a question at the beginning of the stream. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, basically what I do usually is you're gonna ask a question to Monty. It's gonna be a first question. I'm gonna put the clip of you asking a question to Monty when I do the Friday Folk Show with him, and then he's gonna answer, and then he's gonna ask another question for the next guest. So yeah, that's the last thing. But right now, so like I said, it's something a bit more personal, but it's still very related. But the next one is not. I mean, the one after is not. What is your best furry-related memory of the year 2022?
My best furry memory, I'm gonna have to say, of all the, goodness, 2020. Well,
Last
I
year.
think I'm gonna have to go with like it's the day that I did my 1-year Twitch anniversary / birthday. So what happened to make that day so special was where like just like the majority of my friends got together. You know, we were like, obviously you can't fit everyone into one
Yeah.
world. I wish you could.
Yeah.
But you know, we were just all hanging out throughout that time. I was, you know, doing a really long stream, so I was able to like kind of hang out with everyone. So we were all this in this world, hanging out, just talking, you know, celebrating that. It's like, oh, thank you, and stuff like that. We go over to the. I get invited with a surprise and go to
Oh.
another world, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's up to my heart drops. I'm like, oh no, surprises.
What is it gonna be?
Well, then we go over to the luminescent ledge world, and that's when a lot of my really close friends are in that world. Like, okay, I'm gonna go from spawn, and I'm still streaming. Like, I was streaming at that point, and we go down there, and then just like all my like, I'm like on the ledge there, and like all my close friends just like looking up at me. I'm like, I just slowly moving, like, what's going on here? And then they're all just there, like, hanging out. Like, we have something to show you. When you're ready, we're gonna show you something. We have a surprise for you. To keep it short and sweet, they put a really meaningful, long video together of their like appreciation in a way, and I was just like, at that.
That's so cute.
Like, I didn't know what to think. Like, I just started like tearing up and crying because I didn't know what to think. There was like that.
That's so
but along
cute.
with like those in chat as well, we're like kind of like saying the same type of thing. You know, like after that, like, you know, saying like thank you for doing this and I just. So I was crying a lot. It was like a good emotional, but that was. I didn't expect that because I was getting that kept from. They were recording that for months and months beforehand.
Yeah.
And there was times where like we'd be in the Discord voice call, and then like, a couple of them would like go off and like including my boyfriend, he would go off into another Discord voice call or something like that, and be like, I'd be like just joking like, I can't join, why can't I join? And he's like, because it's a secret. Secret. And this was like this was like maybe August or September.
Yeah.
So a couple months beforehand, November, and I'm just like, okay. And there's just all that kind of stuff happening here and there, like close friends saying it's a secret, and then that day just shows it's just like over time they were recording stuff like that, putting it together months beforehand. I was just like,
That's so cute.
that day I got a lot of just like it was very memorable because lots of friends and that everyone kind of coming together in a way, because a lot of people can be busy at different times, you know, time schedules, but a lot of people like just came together at that time and did that. It was really nice of them too, and it's just like that would definitely have to be my favorite free memory of that time, because that
is really cute.
What definitely made me cry the most. In a good way.
Yeah,
so
in a good way.
Definitely for that.
Amazing. That's so handsome. So for all the stories you told here were so handsome. That's so nice. It's literally like it's amazing to hear this. Like this is great. That's so nice. That's so nice. Well, yeah, it's crying, but it's crying because something is really nice, and it's not crying because you're sad. So that's a good crying. It's a nice crying. Oh, all right. That's so nice. And then, what was your best memory, but not furry related? That's the last question for today.
Oh, okay, that one's easy. Along with like all the wonderful memories I've had over 2022, there's a ton. You have 365 days, which is a lot of hours. Which is also a
Yes.
lot of minutes. But over that time, a lot of things happen, and you meet a lot of really nice people. And I've met a lot of really nice people over 2022, and I can't name everyone because there's no way I'd be able to name everyone that
Yeah.
I met over that time. Like my brain doesn't work that way. But I'd have to say for certain that my best memory over all of 2022 would be
Take your
definitely
time.
falling in love
Sorry.
with the one that I love the most.
Oh,
And
that's so
finding-
cute. Oh, that's so handsome.
finding him, finding each other, and being able to just
Ah.
going from like talking as friends to becoming best friends, and
Oh my God, so
then
sweet.
and then just love happens, and that's always something that I feel that powers me is like that is just like
Yeah.
love.
Oh my God,
So
Electro, that's so
it's-
cute.
yeah,
That's definitely a good memory. Falling in love, it's great. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you too, guys, by the way. Really cute. I see on Twitter what you post. You post sometimes pictures on VRChat and stuff. And it's so sweet. It's the sweetest thing ever. You guys together are so cute. It's amazing. I love it. Oh my God.
yeah, it's just cuteness overload.
Yeah, you're making me. I don't know if I'm smiling because that's so handsome. Everything we talked about today was so handsome. Thank you so much for for all of those, for sharing all of those stories with me, because and with the chat here, because you're live on Twitch. But thank you so much. It was really handsome. My God. Do you already know what you're gonna ask to Monty, or do you need some time to think about it?
I can definitely go over the question.
All right.
Like, yeah, I have a question. I'm ready.
All right, can we put the camera? There we go, perfect. Guys, after Electro is finished, can we get a clip of that? Thank you very much. With a name, please. Name the clip. Electro question for Monty, please. Because if there is no name, I'm going to be confused. But thank you so much, guys, if someone does it. All right, the camera is here. You can go, Electro.
Alright, let's see. Okay, so my question for you would be, how in the world did you become so cute?
That's a nice question. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Electro. Simple, but really effective. Really, really effective. I am sure Monty will know how to answer that question perfectly. Well, it was a pleasure, Electro, to do this Friday Folk Show number 6 with you. Thank you so much again for accepting being here with me tonight for me, but on the afternoon for you. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. It was really chill, really nice. And yeah,
It was lots of fun.
yeah, that's something that I definitely want to do more, because it's really nice to just, when you're friend with someone, you just want to know more. Even though I interview sometimes people that I don't know. I will do Monty. Sadly, I didn't play VR chat or anything with Monty yet. So it's going to be, the shy experience where I'm going to meet them directly here, and I have to, it's a bit more, not difficult, but it's another experience when it's not a friend. Obviously, we talked already in VR chat. We know each other. So it was more like friends talking, even though my English is a bit formal when I'm like the host of those kind of stuff where I have to ask questions, because, well, that's vocabulary. Sometimes I don't know what to say, but yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope I was a all right host.
No, yeah, no, you're totally fine. It was lots of fun.
Thank you.
I definitely enjoyed it.
Thank you. So, when is your next stream, Electro? If you want to promote something, you can do it now. Your stream, something else, and please tell everyone when is gonna be your next stream, so they know if they want to follow you. Can we get a shout out in the chat if there is some mods for Electro Wolf? It's Electro Wolf directly together without the space. If you want to know the mods, but I'm sure people know. So yeah, you can promote anything you want right now.
I mean, I'll be streaming today.
Yeah.
Um,
When is usually the time where you stream?
what time is it?
It is
Usually
11
about
p.m.
3 hours from now. when it's early evening for me. Oh goodness.
All right. So in like a few hours,
Time
like
just
five.
flies by.
No. So yeah, 6 hours, 5 hours from now.
Yeah, I'll be going through there.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if the mods all right, yeah, we got a shout out. So that's Electro. Thank you so much, Electro, for being here today. When it comes to me, I'm not gonna stream during next week because I'm at the convention starting tomorrow. I'll not be here. I'll be disconnecting from everything, taking a little break, having some holidays, some well-needed holidays. It's gonna be nice, just to disconnect and be with friends. Yeah, I think you did it too. Last time we talked, you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take some holidays. I'm gonna be disconnected for a week or something like that."
That might have been for. Yeah, I think I was going down to Arizona, and I was gonna be down there for. I think that must have been. Was it that long ago?
Yeah, like a few months ago, I think.
It was like October.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't remember when we went, but that's probably like a year ago already. Probably like a good year. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone that was here and watched the stream. The VOD is gonna be online. Oh no, I'm not here tomorrow. All right, it's gonna be online tonight because I need to do it tonight, or I will never do it. So the VOD is gonna be on my YouTube channel tonight. If you want to watch it again, it's gonna be on my YouTube channel or on Twitch. You can also watch it on Twitch. Thank you so much for everyone that followed during the stream, for the subs, for the bits. I didn't really follow what happened because I was not looking at the chat. I was just talking with my friend Electro. And yeah, thank you again, Edgar. Edgar, do you want to go on the camera right now? Show yourself. I think we're gonna stay on that angle. Thank you so much, Edgar, for doing the camera work today. You can thank Edgar that is here for the amazing camera work. Thank you so much, Edgar.
Well, amazing.
I hope it was entertaining. It's probably a bit boring,
yes,
but thank you so much for doing it. Thank you so much for doing
it's
it.
fine.
Yeah. You tested the asset that I made, the Vision Mixer Desk, and I'm sure you have stuff to tell me, the bugs and stuff. So thank you so much for being the first one to use it live on. It was really nice. And yeah, take care, guys. Stay safe. For me, see you in more than a week, and you can watch Electro stream in a few hours, around 4 or 5 hours on his channel. He got shout out on the chat. And yeah, take care, everyone. Stay safe, and see you on the next stream. Bye.
Bye bye.